Facilities Committee. Let's call this meeting to order at 4:55. And Mr. Levinson, as usual, let's start with the varsity games.
Well, I think on my clock is up and running.
Have you seen it?
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Alex? Hopefully
Yeah,
take a walk.
good.
Very nice.
Right out front.
You know, that was quite the journey.
Yes, it was.
Labor of love.
Thank you, Pat, for doing all that.
The pocket of Disney World.
Even giving me the program the last 2.5 weeks was quite the.
Yeah, it was kind of like, it's a nice clock, but it doesn't work. I was like, it'll work.
You know what? They told me to be done last week, of course. We have it ready for today.
The student said it's professional stuff.
Yeah.
It's done. So,
Well, that's not a bad time to be
we're
in
always
seventh.
looking forward.
Mhm.
I just was looking at the
What's
little
this?
area around it. Are we gonna, can we plant like some flower stuff around it to
I
make
don't
it
know what it,
pretty?
oh,
Do you know what's beautiful when you walk in off of
I mean, this has
Brentwood?
been done.
I didn't realize how many tulips we
Oh,
have.
what is
lighting
this?
and
Wait,
shit.
this isn't
And
LSC
of
for
course
here.
it's, you know,
Board of
clouded by
Education,
garbage and
Local School
dandelions,
Accounts
but
Advisory.
it's beautiful.
Oh, that's the LSC AB.
So I
What
guess,
is it?
so you get to vote. So place an X.
And there have been multiple.
Okay, so you just get an X if you want to vote for any of these people. So should I
Alright,
make
so
copies of this for everybody?
Okay.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
do
Where
have
does
a
this have
way
to
of
be?
life.
It doesn't even say.
No.
And of course,
Although I
it's
think Michelle is
2019. Are these people correct?
Yeah, it's 2019.
I don't know. Yeah.
Still, there's
I
no
don't-
way.
Good catch.
About that.
We did finally get our day person.
Monica Moore, LSC, is she,
Over at Freshman Academy, which was good. But honestly.
Mike is traveling, so
this is 2019, what are we doing?
How many of these do we have?
so Mike's not gonna, I don't know that he's gonna join us. And Mary Cobb may be joining us virtually. She's not gonna be here. I guess she's just been out for 2.5 weeks
Yeah.
sick. So she said, she was like, I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
I said, don't
How can-
come in.
but-
If you're up to it,
But so, of
Come
all the
online.
positions available
not,
for varsity campus. they're all
totally
full.
understandable.
They are technically all.
Okay.
What
But
positions?
What that doesn't take into account is, for example, today we had only, two of our 3-day custodians called off. One of them, and we got stuff, and the subs typically are not. So, a long day inside here. And I also believe Michelle was off. We're at the Freshman Academy, but we did get April there. And so I guess there was some coverage. But that really is the biggest issue on both sides. But the great news is we finally built the go section. And that really is good news. I can't. I believe his name is June.
Has he started?
Yeah. But last week we had someone on vacation and had call up.
And remind me, what is the go section covering?
Hey.
242 all the way to.
Did you get?
And they also work with another person in the locker room
What shift?
tonight. So what's been going on is really ever since school finished, we had people doing overtime on a very consistent basis. So there's been lots of problems. Overtime is a proposition. It's not-
Well, and you know, you have an issue outside too. Garbage just isn't getting to you.
I know.
Because you can't get to the stuff inside. I appreciate that.
That's been popular struggle also. Yeah, it's really rough.
All right, let's talk about, did the plan come back from the strategic planning, capital planning team at CPS? They were gonna give us something on the 9 units on the roof.
Okay, I do have an update on that, which also is good news. Because when I sent an email to that team, to what's the new.
Ivan Hansen?
Thank you, Mr. Hansen and a team. One of the responses I got that there will be no work completed after summer.
Right, that was from the lady.
Yep, we did. But the RTUs here, they're going to be repairing the RTUs and replacement will be a later date, which doesn't sound great because it will need to be replaced, but the good news is Stanton Mechanical has been contracted already to do the job. The scope of work before is coming. PO is still being issued. He's here now. Last building, really good. Especially the third floor, so cool, it's great. This building, not so much.
Because is that where the older
That's the
units are?
worst. Well, they're all the same.
But are those the ones they're gonna fix first?
Yes, that's what this says.
So what units are they proposing to fix?
They're
What
gonna
is it?
repair both stages of cooling on each rooftop unit. So
So
that
all
means
9?
all of them are gonna be updated. Yep. Which is amazing, because again, and they're also repairing all room pneumatic thermostat and control lines. Sounds amazing. I have no idea what it
All right,
is.
did you just say all, hold on, let's stick with, so all,
There you go, all the rooftop units are being upgraded with, they
Are we getting more masks?
The repairing.
It says in the newsletter that we have plenty of high quality masks.
We have plenty.
Okay.
All room pneumatic thermostat control lines. Now, there's not thermostats in every room, that's not important. But that just means the thermostat just.
so but I think the key part is that all 9 rooftop units are being upgraded with the cooling mechanical
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Because I've had reports that it's sweltering in like the counseling
it was
area.
bad, yeah. It's bad today. Yeah.
Well, great.
It doesn't help going from 40 to 90.
Mary Cobb's office was like 40.
Yeah.
My car on the way in said 98 degrees. I don't know why the air is registering it, but, okay, so do we know when that work is gonna happen?
I do not have that official date, but
So God willing,
I hope so. You're before your last meeting, maybe that we'll have all.
if we can have a schedule, that would be great.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna harass you now, Pat? To stay on top of this stuff. Principal G, you're gonna have to toughen up. You're gonna have to chat on me.
Get soft in my own.
I know. Okay, so that is great news, Pat. Thank you. We've only been working on that for a couple years and we've got,
It's been watered.
well, since I've been, the
Yes.
big mouth's been involved, so that's good news. Okay. I'm sure it'll make a lot of people happy. I think the reality is, we want to make sure this is all taken care of before the beginning of next school year.
The
So,
follow-up is.
yeah, I mean, I have zero expectations that it's gonna happen before this school year's out, but next week's supposed to be in the 60s, so,
I know, isn't that crazy?
so then there's just 2 weeks. So,
Par for the course.
okay, the PA system upgrades.
Okay, there has been no movement on that. After their initial out repair, there's supposed to be another follow through with the additional repairs. But
Can you
they-
send
Can
me
you email
the
me
answers
every
for
name
this?
of every
Yeah.
person that's leaving?
Because they,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
the
Because I want
last
to get them
report
for the
was
next
where to
meeting,
go.
little
Yeah.
clogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that
but
say
we
like,
need
thank
more.
you for your
Yeah,
time
okay.
on LSC.
Alright, so I'm gonna put
Presidential
that on the
Events.
Now, you know, Mary Cobb is going from a staff member to a
Right.
community member.
Right.
I don't know if you want to do, oh, this is, I've had this,
Okay.
my thing for,
Okay,
Officially,
everybody's
since they've
favorite
been
time
little,
at the
this is, I don't
bathroom.
even know how long ago, he's 16 now, he's your student.
Yeah.
And that's my oldest who's 20, that's my middle who's 18.
I don't know if I have a picture of Kayla, but I left her alone one day when she was like 5 and she painted her whole
Has the
face.
vandalism.
And she came out and I'm like, I am so dead. I mean, it was like permanent. mark on
Oh,
her face.
shit.
Oh my God.
There was a woman, this is, I don't know if you know, on Common Ground, the restaurant. There's one in Rogers Park. There's one right by the, right by Wrigley Field.
When we find your
And
meeting,
they would
can
have
you send
these
it to
fairs
16
once
so
a
that they
week.
can see if it's
And there was this
ventilated?
woman who was like a professional painter. So when she's
Oh,
like,
the SROs?
oh yeah, I'm doing face painting. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking, she's got some, oh my God. Oh my God.
I know. She's
That
like,
is
she was
just
so
there.
proud.
She's so happy.
Oh, and it's permanent mark.
Oh,
She
Jesus.
was crying me to take it off with some kind of.
Oh, oh. They,
So
this
I'm
woman
coming.
had calendars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
these
that's what my
calendars sitting around. I
concern
start
is.
looking
And
through them and I'm like, and then I look over at her,
graffiti's
what she's doing to
graffiti,
the
but
first
when
kid,
it's
and I'm like,
painting stuff,
you're
that's
like
whole
a
other level that we need to
professional
address.
painter. Then of course, she finished my kids and I'm like, Jesus. This is a regular face
Yeah.
paint.
So what do the
That's
SROs,
gonna be the graffiti of it.
what do the SROs do?
All right,
Like,
what am
they
I
would
on
come back to you
emailing
and
you?
say,
Okay.
this is nothing,
Yes.
As far as what, when there's an
Yes.
incident?
graffiti.
Oh.
Yes.
I wanna know if it's gang
Anything
related.
that's where you're questionable.
So all the
And also we
graffiti that we've reported to the SROs, they come back each and every
No,
time
anything
and say
that
nothing
we
is
don't
gang
know
related.
what it is, we will consult for sure. But most of the time, you know what it is, like I said.
It's
I
stupid
know.
stuff.
Yes.
And Hector was also a police officer, so he's pretty,
I just wanna
Yeah.
make sure that,
we don't have that, yeah.
that the SROs are doing something.
Yeah, anything.
No, they're doing stuff.
If it's artwork, Ms. Treading would, be pleased to see some of it if it's creative,
Well, it's funny you say that because I went to Amanda, her chair, with some pictures, right before spring break, this particular female that was going to town everywhere.
high school graduation.
So I did go to see the thing and I showed her pictures.
Look at all that hair.
Hey, you've seen that sketchbook.
Where did
Yeah.
you
She
graduate from
said,
high
oh,
school?
that's a good thing to do, but
What?
I
Where'd
thought
you
it was
graduate
kind of like
St. Pat's.
colorful and nice. She thought, now this is like, oh.
And they're all open, all bathrooms are open.
Well, yeah, I mean, according to the schedule, yeah. The only reason they're closed is I have to get graffiti removed or
Okay,
there's.
but otherwise they're open for seeing any, facility issues that need to be repaired. Okay,
Well, you say all of that. We have scheduled all locations. We have passed to coordinate to the locations.
but if anyone needs to use a bathroom at any given
They
point,
should, I mean, I'm
they're
hoping you
open.
guys aren't getting many complaints about that.
I'm just asking because I wanna, it's everywhere we go, the bathrooms always come up, and I'm always saying, actually, they're all open. We have a pass process, students know what it is. If they're not following it, they're not following it, talk to your kids.
I agree.
Well, let me reiterate, because they're not all open. Okay, a couple of them,
Some are faculties.
no, but a couple are closed. Like in the morning, we close the umbilical one because we only have like one security guard can watch it. So we close the small one with only one toilet in it and 2 urinals and open the one with 8 toilets and 8 urinals. But that one's closed because the kids would come in, I'm in this thing, and there'd be 30 kids in there vaping. And so we just closed that one. And now the other one with the security guard. So technically they're not all open, but there's enough toilets for butts.
But that was all down on the schedule, so
It's all
everybody knew
on
it.
Yeah, and now it's on there. If you need a
Yeah.
bathroom, go to 116.
They should know where to go.
It's that first week. They're all
Once that schedule
closed.
came up, I
Yep.
think it made it easier. I
Yeah.
stopped hearing,
I think it helps.
Yeah, and we're gonna have it again at the beginning of the school year, like we always do in the crowded hallway. So we'll get to it.
What else you got, Mr.
So
Levins?
honestly, that's all I have. What's that for something?
What about the monument sign?
That's that's right now kind of on a.
Yeah, it with
I thought
Prices.
the line was-
all I know is everybody has tripled their prices and said supply chain at the end of the sentence. And so now something that was gonna be $12,000 is now at least $30,000. And I'm like, well, we're not doing that. So we did do the Frank Hood tree over here. I don't know if you can see it, which is
it's a really
really,
good fit.
it really was. They picked it out. We had about 25 people here all making, what's weird is the alumni come back and they tell stories of our coaches that are so inappropriate now, but that's what they're endeared about. I remember when he put me in there and I had a concussion and oh my God, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
but that was that's what
No,
endeared
I
that.
think it's really nice. And FYI, I
Yeah.
was able to make it that morning, but I knew 99% of people here, they loved it. They loved.
I get
that
it.
he Did it. They
Yeah.
loved that
Yeah.
it was there. They loved that he
Yeah.
is memorialized.
A lot of
It's
tears.
Huge.
Yeah, a lot of tears, and that was the class of '92.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
got a
gonna
lot
have
of
them come
calls.
back for the football team in the,
Yeah.
So it was really good though. Really. And they got to look around the whole school. We have a couple of hot
There
spots.
was a few people who haven't been here in years.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what they always say when they come back? Smells the
Smells
same.
the
I
same.
know, they always, but this
That's
person,
fun.
yeah.
It must be the wax on the floor.
No, it's
and not-
teenagers. It's teenagers.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I come in here when my oldest was
Mhm.
in grade school. I walked in, I went, oh my God, it smells.
Yep. It's, yep. That's it, mister. We have a good early day, early meeting today, huh?
Oh, well, I mean,
Good.
I think that's everything.
Hold
I
on.
mean, the only
You gonna let them off
update.
that easy, Mr. Russo?
I know stuff.
What?
gonna let them off that easy.
Or no, I don't know.
I know.
When does their landscaping start?
Already has. About a month ago. They do it every 2 weeks.
We have a new company.
Yeah.
and They're getting acclimated to the process.
Okay, I
The
don't know.
field's
if-
not done right now.
Yeah,
And the reason why is because they were scheduled to come the day after we had those torrential.
down, okay.
And so they were going in the fields making trenches, and I said, time out,
Yeah,
stop doing that.
it's-
Yeah. So they said they'll come back in 2 weeks. And I think the next one is due next week sometime.
Perfect.
They do a good job, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if Mike is coming.
He's out of town.
Are we anywhere on those bleachers for our city campus,
Yeah,
the field?
The bleacher expansion can be,
Yeah.
You said it'll take time because of the cost. You
Yes.
mentioned that last month.
it's very.
Yeah.
Right now, we're leaning towards getting multiple bleachers that we can roll in there.
We
And roll
talked
up,
about
right.
that 2 years ago.
I
I
know.
know. And I said, don't build that fence so high because we're gonna wanna put bleachers there. And no,
Nope.
we're gonna put the fence up.
I don't want,
Okay,
and I'm a-
whatever.
I don't want bleachers. I don't want bleachers on this side at all.
There's nowhere else to put them.
But I don't want to look at the back of bleachers. We can put them on both
But
sides.
they're rollies. They're rolly
Yeah,
bleachers. That was the whole point of this.
That's okay.
Unless we change their story.
But here's what I'm real honest with you. There's a lot,
I hope you're always real.
I am. But as a principal, I have to look at what's best for everybody. So we're looking at a large expenditure. If they want to spend it, that's fine. But really for 5 nights a year is what they're trying to get that for. And I'm like, there's a lot of other things we could probably use for that too. So if they want to spend it on that, they can.
Yeah.
But
Because that was their point.
I know.
Yes, They're money.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, okay, so, we're winding down the school year, so I want to look ahead and, we're gonna have, we're gonna be doing happy days that week or month. So from an organizing us for the fall, we're gonna follow the same rollout with the lockers as we did this year.
Wait about a month.
We're gonna wait till maybe October-ish, when the weather
Yeah.
starts to get a hint of coolness in the air and.
I think October 1st is a good
They
day.
start bulking
Mhm.
up, so we'll roll that out October 1st. I think it would be good though if we communicated that.
Right.
Out of the gate.
Right.
Yeah.
That should be at like registration in a packet of what you need to know
Yeah.
about the school year,
Yeah.
important
Fun facts.
dates and,
And what to expect.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
I really think communication, getting
Yeah.
us queued up so that we don't
Yep.
have the nonsense we had this year. It was a proven method, it worked
Yep.
very well, you've
Mhm.
got the system down pat now, so it should be a lot more seamless this year than it was last year.
I would agree.
Are we doing a sophomore orientation for the kids at the freshman academy who are coming?
This time, right now, we're not.
Yeah, we don't have that right now. We're leaning towards, I thought like a 1-day thing though. I thought when I was talking to Ryan, something that we
We've
can,
got a lot of freshmen who've never, ever been in this
I know.
building, and then we put them in the first day.
Yeah.
Get
Three
chaos.
thousand kids to try to find their classroom.
yeah, we know.
No thanks.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're
I think we have something where it's gonna be like we bring in the class for 2-hour stints. For
And
a
they
couple
can go
days,
to
or
their classes.
we'll walk them around the
Yeah.
school, maybe get their school IDs done.
I
Yeah,
would strongly recommend
Yeah,
it.
yeah. it's very good.
I think we need a sophomore orientation.
Yeah, definitely.
There was something else. Oh, the build out of the rooms, Pat.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we had to move it to June 20. Start the week of June 20. Then basically ask for the updated kind of PO, so to speak.
I would stay on top of that because that's at least a 2-month build.
Got it, right?
And we
I
go
don't think
back.
it's gonna take that long.
Okay.
They go pretty quick. They go pretty quick
They
now.
built-
Okay.
They built that office in a weekend.
We go back, what, August 22nd?
Yeah, I don't, as long as they have promised me they will start work June 20th. If they start work June 20th, as promised, and I have it in writing, it'll be done by July 1st for sure.
Okay. August 22nd is gonna be here.
Oh, trust me, I know,
Okay.
I'm at, part of our
And with the both rooms, God bless you,
God bless.
are we squared away with being able to accommodate the needs for the additional classrooms, or are we still short? Okay.
One of the big things we're doing is there is a wrestling room on the third floor. What number is that, Pat? 322? 320. We are taking all the mats out of there.
I'm sorry, a resting room?
Wrestling.
Oh, I'm like, who's
Wrestling.
resting?
Yeah. So we are taking that out, and the wrestling is now going to be in the smaller of the gyms on the second floor. Yeah. So, but so that's we're going to gain a room up there. Okay.
Yeah.
The room,
That's new.
Yeah,
That's new to the group.
the smaller of the two gyms is, and it's in the requisition here. We're going to buy wrestling mats for $24,000 to go all the way around and put mats on the ground. However, the mats are like $32,000, but we have a company here that's going to be like our feeder system with wrestlers called Beat the Streets. It's a really good wrestling program for younger kids. So they're going to be kind of like our feeder system for kids and wrestlers. They bought the mats for 32. They're selling it to us for 24.
Wow.
And then in lieu, and then we'll let them use the room sometimes when we're not using it, and we're going to have a contract. Yeah, it's going to be really good.
So what does that do for our gym program?
They can still use it because in the day, when the wrestlers are done, they roll up the mats and put them away, and you can still use the
So we're
gym.
not losing that space.
We're not
Actually, it's opening up.
Yeah.
320.
Yeah, it'll open
So
up
that's
pretty
an
quick.
important
It's a large
large.
enough
Yeah.
gym to.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yeah.
from an occupancy standpoint, it's a good utilization of space
Right.
because we're accommodating the wrestling team. We're getting a classroom space back for our
Win,
kids.
win, win.
And
And a
then,
feeder system.
and after school, the wrestling kids could go, that's their dedicated.
And they needed a bigger space.
So it's a dedicated wrestling.
Right. Yes,
What's on the third floor, Jim, or is that not, you saying where is that?
there's no third floor. Joe.
No, that's 320.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
that's 320, okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
it's not the greatest room in the world,
No,
but
it's
that
not.
is your room, but it's a room.
I tell you what.
But it's the
you
space.
can- You can fit 35 to 40 testing tables in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
It's not really.
So do we have to buy
Yeah, I
new
know.
desks?
Already contacted my connection to the warehouse. See if I get-
And it's got, I don't know what the room is, but it's got all everything electric wired, everything.
Oh, yeah, I kind of.
Does it need a whiteboard or
Depending on the
anything?
numbers
We can put that
and
in, yeah.
stuff,
Roll
depending
it
on
in.
numbers, if it goes to PE. Or something, but really, that's gonna come out once we have program.
So this is an important conversation because everyone's worried about space, but with this additional room, it really satisfies, you're at where you want it to be.
That's what I said. I mean, we projected 4 to 6, and this would give us like that.
This is 5, so we're in
Right in the middle.
the perfect spot.
And if we need to use those classroom, we can. We need to use it as like health classroom. We can fit 40 people.
I really, guys, please, let's do a sophomore orientation, please.
We
Don't
are,
leave
we
these
are,
Kids
we are.
trying to fend for themselves.
I
They
don't
want-
disagree with you.
The little bit of time you spend in the summer is exponential on what they learn and how they feel.
You know, you got a bunch of kids
Yep.
who are gonna do sports and they're gonna get into the
Yeah.
building, and, but the bulk of the kids never even walked into this place.
Yep.
We can't do this. And you are gonna do right out of the gate in September, you're gonna do your
I'll do my spiel.
your
Yeah.
spiel, that's so important that,
Yeah.
and when kids miss you, it's like, oh, I didn't get to hear from
Yeah.
Principal G,
Yeah.
so it is impactful,
What is our actual first day of
the
school?
22nd.
Teachers will be back about a week.
Okay, freshman academy,
Honestly, the only thing report,
custodial issues.
I checked in with both. Just to make sure.
And nowhere on parking or anything, that's still dormant, no pun intended.
Like I said,
It'll flare up again in the fall.
out of our domain.
I mean, you can tell teachers, they can park on the other side of that fence, it's city owned property,
I know.
they can park there.
Your own risk, I don't.
It is, but it's city owned property.
Not recommending.
What we're actually gonna do is not tell teachers they can do that. We're gonna not tell teachers they can't do that.
Yeah.
That's really what they want us to do.
Yeah.
Don't encourage it, but don't the
They're not
teachers,
gonna do anything, because they know it's teachers parking.
Right.
So the teacher could park there, something that we're covered, so I'm not, you know, so like, I'm not suggesting anything like that. But if you want to, it's at your own risk.
And nothing
I mean,
else.
the park district lot, 60 spots.
Anything from the group on freshman academy? Ms. Trevin, you're my eyes over there, other than custodial issues.
I think we had asked Bridget to come back to us with some recommendations on parking, on how we wanted to do it next year, right? We're gonna.
I did.
Okay, good, yeah.
I
So
did.
we'll figure out how we're gonna do
PBC,
parking,
I asked them to
whatever they want to do.
come back to it.
Principal G, anything in closing? Facilities?
No, I'm just, it's, the tulips are out, it always makes you feel good.
Well, I
and the-
said to Pat,
Missed it.
well, I said to Pat, two things, you gotta really accent that clock now.
We
There's like a nice little, maybe we do a nice little border.
It's already on order right now.
And plant something.
Julian's
or
already here.
mulch or something.
See, Julian's our landscaper that came here, and so I give him that, and he does the vision, like, he's gonna do this right here. When I told him about that, I said, this is my vision, he goes, no, Mark. Because people are gonna wanna like lean against the clock, and when you're leaning against the clock, you're gonna be stepping in flowers. So he's gonna do something
As a perimeter.
as a perimeter, but you could still like touch the clock and say wave hi to it. So he's got it.
So another nice thing,
Yeah.
when you walk off of Bryn Mawr, the gym is, the border is all tulips.
Right.
Now, it's of course got dandelions and garbage in it, but
You're talking under the beautiful sign?
no, from
Oh.
Bryn Mawr, it's you're walking to the main entrance.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got
The
the,
perimeter of the building.
yeah.
Is just lined with tulips. And
Right.
it just needs a little
No,
culturing and
it will.
some mulch
It will.
and maybe some more tulips planted. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take much to pop
It
the
will.
pops of color.
Yeah, we're actually working, if you look, we're working our way from the corner over here on Natoma and Pearlbud. We've taken down all those crappy
Yeah, it
trees.
looks nice.
We've
Yeah.
worked away the front. If you look at where the original door is on Natoma, we took those bushes away. It's got symmetry and stuff. The next phase going around is by the gym there where it's the You Are Beautiful sign. We're gonna have stuff underneath it. He's got ideas for, again, because he's 3 steps ahead of me. He goes, Mark, this is something that's gonna have, needs sun plants because you got that southern exposure where what I did is I went around planting a bunch of hostas.
Yeah.
Years ago, I had the church do it. They wanted to give us something. I said, plant hostas. And I didn't realize that hostas get burned up in the sun. And so he's like, no, I got these beautiful plants that love the sun and we're going to put them all there. So he's got the vision. We're just doing a corner at a time. So
Can he just add mulch to the other
sure,
side?
sure.
Just to, because it'll cover the dandelions
Yeah.
and the garbage and it'll show the.
Yeah, I actually think our landscapers do that at the beginning of the
I
year.
mean,
They
that's
come
an
out and do
easy
it.
thing to do.
Yeah, this is looking nice over here too with our
I
trees.
did text our months ago, that we really need. But I do.
Yeah.
It just softens up the
Yeah.
landscape
Yeah.
and it doesn't take much. Okay, I'm sorry. Anything else? And Madam Chair, I'd like to include the facilities report at 5:03.
Sounds good. Yay.
Your last.
Are we
turned
off? Turned off?
Can you stop recording, Tony?
Yes, he's stopping recording.